Mental health is a crucial component of overall well-being, and access to quality services can make all the difference. Today, we're delving into the resources available right here in our community. Welcome to Celebrate Michigan, the show produced on the campus of Madonna University. I'm Karen Sanborn. Our guest today is Stacie Stafford from the Madonna University Psychological Services Clinic, which offers no-cost therapy services to both the university and the community. Stacie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's start out with how this whole clinic came to be. What inspired it?
Dr. Silveri, she's the psychologist and also the professor here that ends up teaching the master's program for clinical psychology. And she's the one that started the clinic back up.
Wow, okay. So describe for me what the services are that you provide and what age groups, like what's the age range of people that you see?
The age range is between 13 and up.
Okay.
And then people come in for stress, anxiety, depression, life skills, coping skills, relationship, bunch of different things we end up treating there.
Yeah, mental health is a real issue today.
Oh, for sure.
And it affects seniors. What do you think has caused the rise in the need for mental health services?
I think just how everything's going in the world today with, we went through the pandemic, which put a lot of people in isolation, and they're trying to get back to a normal life. Yeah. We see people for not being happy with the results of the election and the cost of living, and just a variety of things.
A lot of stressors, affecting people.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the same is true for college students that use the services?
Oh, for sure. They come in here, they have a lot going on between working and their studies and trying to balance everything.
Right.
And getting back out and socializing and stuff after what everybody went through.
What do you think, what do you like most about the clinic? And now that it's open and you're seeing clients, what is your favorite part about serving people?
Just seeing the different people come in and to be able to know that you can help or assist them in, getting back to their normal lives, or to help get rid of some of their, teach them how to get rid of some of their stress and trauma kind of thing from their past.
There's a real stigma, I think. People are hesitant to seek out help. How does one learn about the clinic, besides we're talking about it today? How do they know that they can come to Madonna, to the Psychological Services Clinic?
Well, you can go on the Madonna website and go into the Master's of Clinical Psychology program, and there's a link there.
Okay.
And then some of us has went out and took flyers and put them around town.
Okay.
And then we've done a couple newspapers and then a ribbon cutting. So we're trying to get
the word out.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So is it just for the Livonia community, or can people come from anywhere?
People can come from anywhere. There's no cost. We don't ask anything for insurance or anything like that. So they just call up and give us a little bit of information, and we get them going. And
it's right here on the Madonna University campus.
Yes.
And is it do you have an office? If I was going to go to therapy somewhere else, do you have an office?
Yeah, we do. Over in the Kretzky building on the bottom level there. We have 3 rooms right now, therapy rooms, that we ended up redid and decorated and stuff. And we see the patients right in there. And then telehealth we can do in the clinic or also from home, as long as everything's secure and HIPAA compliant.
Oh, interesting. Okay. What's your office like?
Well, mine is very open and comforting. Not really bright colors, but kind of, just comforting, cool colors. And it's relaxing in there.
Yeah, so that you put people at ease, so that they're able to share and talk about what's troubling them.
Let them know that they're in a safe place and that everything's confidential.
Yeah.
We don't ever talk about anything outside of the room.
Okay.
So, and this is our practicum for us to graduate and to get our license.
Okay. Are there other psychological services that you might refer people, that you would refer them to after they've been to Madonna's clinic?
We don't, well, if they come and we are not able to help them, then we look up and make sure that we find a good alternative, like, a different psychologist, or refer them to the hospital so they can be evaluated and seen there. We don't just want to leave somebody just hanging out there in the community without any help.
Right. Do people refer friends, and have you seen, since you've been in service for, a couple of months, do you see other people saying, hey, check out this clinic?
Yeah, we've had a couple people. I know I personally have had a couple people that they've heard from somebody else. And then we've went around to different churches, and we've had a lot of people coming in from there.
Good idea.
Or even in the newspaper that we end up had a little article in.
Sure.
So
yeah, word of mouth, it will spread,
yeah.
and people will know that the services are here. Now, is there a limit as to how many times you can see a therapist?
No, not
Okay.
with us. They can come in and be seen once a week for however long they need, or a couple times a week, just depending on what they want to be seen for and how we're going to be able to help them. But there's no limit. And then when we graduate, the next group, we will end up trying to make the best fit. And if they want to continue, then we transfer them to the next group that comes in.
Yeah, a new therapist, somebody else who's learning.
Yeah, because we just don't want to walk away and then they just have nobody.
What a great service. That's awesome.
Wonderful.
So we're just scratching the surface. When we return, we'll explore the training and expertise behind the services offered, as well as the impact the clinic has had on the community. Stay with us.
Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit savethefood.com.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Nice. No. Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Welcome back to Celebrate Michigan. I'm Karen Sanborn. Continuing our conversation with Stacie Stafford from the Madonna University Psychological Services Clinic. So, right before the break, we were just about to talk about the qualifications and the training that the graduate students go through so that they can begin working with clients. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Okay, well, the program is, we go into the clinic the second year. The first year, we're just learning how to be able to help people and talk with them and all the rules that go along with it. And then we also work into, we have a lab, and we do learning how to do assessments and that kind of thing for our program.
Okay.
So once you're in the second year, we can work into the clinic or outside in the community, whoever wants to do their practicum out there.
Okay.
So this is the first year for the program.
Right.
Well, 2024. So our group is very small. There's like 7 of us, and so in the clinic we have 2 full-time and 1 part-time therapist there. So, and we're supervised by Dr. Savari. She is a licensed psychologist.
Okay.
So she oversees and supervises everything that we do.
Good.
And helps us, if we get stuck on something or, need to refer somebody out.
Very interesting. Very rewarding.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Good experience. How are the student clinicians supervised, so that we can ensure that there's quality care? What does Dr. Silveri, what are some of the things that you've experienced that help you make sure that the clients are handled with the utmost care?
Yeah, for sure. We have to make sure that everybody's being taken care of properly and within, confidentiality and the HIPAA laws and that kind of thing, ethics. So every week we have an individual supervision with Dr. Silveri, and then we have a group within our clinic with her. And we go over our cases, no demographics, just the meat and potatoes. We don't do any of the location where anybody's at, so nobody knows who anybody is.
Okay.
And then we go through it, and she looks at our notes to make sure, and then gives us pointers on what we can change or how we're doing on it. And then during our practicum class, we meet once a week and do case studies. And so we're taking the same cases still with no information except for just the bare bones of it, and we talk amongst ourselves. I'm sorry.
So sorry.
No, you're. So then we have each other we're bouncing stuff off from, and she's also there, also to be able to, guide us and do role playing and stuff like that. So
great support.
Absolutely.
Great support. Oh, excuse me. How does the clinic, oh my gosh, how does the clinic incorporate evidence-based practices into its therapeutic approaches?
Well, we are a psychodynamic program, so within the first year and the second year we learn all about the theories and everything with psychodynamic and other different theories, and so we get a taste of a little bit of everything, but we're a majority the psychodynamic. So we're getting an idea of like DBT and CBT, like cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectical behavioral therapy. Was it internal family systems is another one that we have a class. So we're learning different avenues of being able to help people.
Very technical, but I've heard those theories before. Do you ever do family? Like you talked about family.
We have not had any family yet, but if we were to have like a couple or a family come in, then we would have Dr. Silveri be in there helping us and be able to kind of guide us, because it's a little bit more busy and more, we would need more guidance.
Sure, it's a little more complex.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. How does the clinic address the unique needs of different age groups? Like if you're dealing with teenagers, or you're dealing with senior citizens?
It's pretty much whatever we decide what age group we want to be with, and mostly everybody in the clinic is like wide variety. I mostly, with me, it's like a lot of the older generation ends up wanting to, because I'm not a traditional student.
Sure.
And then the younger ones tend to want to go with, the younger group, a little bit easier to talk to.
Sure, the more relatable.
More
yeah.
relatable, closer to their age and stuff. So
Exactly.
it's just pretty much we find out what you need and who's going to be the best one to help.
Yeah, that's awesome. The older adults that come in, how comfortable are they with this therapy session? Does it take them a few times before they open up?
Yeah, well, it pretty much takes a lot of people a couple times, a few times. You have to get that relationship going, that therapeutic relationship, make sure that everybody connects. The older people, we do end up take a little bit longer because of a lot of people in their generation didn't talk about
Right.
their feelings
Right.
and stress and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it may take them a little bit longer, but I really haven't had any issue with it.
Yeah. Good, good. So we're about to take a short break. When we return, we'll discuss upcoming initiatives, how the clinic is evolving, and ways the community can get involved. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends.
Come on in. Help yourself to anything.
That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit savethefood.com.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Nice. No. Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Welcome back to Celebrate Michigan. I'm Karen Sanborn, here with Stacie Stafford from the Madonna University Psychological Services Clinic. Are there any new programs or services that the clinic is planning to introduce moving forward?
Right now, she's been just bouncing ideas of what she would like to end up seeing in the future and ideas of what we might want to see to kind of help more of the community. We don't see under 13 at this point. So she's talked about in the future maybe bringing in play therapy for the younger children and just to be able to integrate that, and that'd be a great experience, more into some more trauma, more than we can do right now. The
Right.
really severe trauma we're not equipped for. So that's been some ideas that she's been bouncing off, a little bit more of the different theories brought into it and that,
Right.
that kind of thing.
Now, so she must be in touch with people in the community to determine like what the need is. So like, is there a need for the child therapy, so that we can expand the psychological services that are offered? She's got colleagues here at the university and out in the community that she works with.
Yes, there's a huge demand. From what I've been hearing, there's a shortage of therapists out there,
Okay.
and especially for the younger. There's like everybody's got like a waiting list kind of a thing. The younger generation, the younger kids,
Yeah.
there's just a shortage for
Well,
people
and when
for
you
that.
think about, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, the pandemic affected a lot of families. It affected old people and affected young people. When you think about the babies that were born during the pandemic,
Yeah,
they didn't socialize with
No.
anybody but their family.
right.
School, it affected some kids in school, the younger kids. So 13 is probably a good age because they're starting to, try to be adults and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So it's interesting that you would look at even the younger population needing.
Yeah, it'd be a great experience for us to be able to do that, and I'm very interested in learning that. Would be able to help the younger ones, and with the, with autistic children and people that have disabilities, we're also learning to be able to assist with them and help them with their issues that they have, and
Yeah.
so it's definitely a very rewarding program here at Madonna.
Yeah. So what would you tell somebody if they were feeling really depressed or isolated and they just they don't know where to turn, maybe they don't have insurance. What would you tell them?
They can call the clinic or they can email, and we will get back with them. Usually takes a couple days kind of thing, and then we'll just talk. And if we're able to help them, we'll let them know.
Yeah.
And if not, then we'll refer them out. So so far, it's been great demand, and everybody's, they don't have insurance, it doesn't make a difference. If you do have insurance, it doesn't make a difference. So
Yeah.
it's great for everybody,
Absolutely, absolutely. What are some of the things that you've heard that you think people should be aware of and be sensitive to, and not so judgmental about mental illness? I mean, because it's not talked about a lot.
No, it's not, but it's gotten more out there now. I think even the younger generation is more educated and look up things on their own. Unlike the past, we just really didn't do that.
Right.
They see that they need some help and they do it, look into it. And so I've been really impressed with that. I think the pandemic hurt everybody.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
With isolation and stuff. And so we're all trying to just get back with it. And that's another great thing about, people who haven't had a chance to integrate back into their normal lives.
Right.
Because they're so used to being isolated into their home and stuff. So it's been just a great experience. And in the clinic, like I mentioned before, we have, there's 2 of us that are full-time. The other gentleman that is in the clinic, Chuck DiCarlo, he's been helping with not just being a therapist there, but he's been out promoting a lot of the newspaper articles because he had gotten it going for us. And then Laura Westra, she's our part-time, but she does other practicums out with assessment because she wants to be more integrated with both, with assessment testing and with therapy. So,
Okay.
So it's nice, well-rounded program.
Yeah, great colleagues.
Oh,
And-
absolutely. We're like a family. It's,
Yeah, and you're learning from each other. You're learning from Dr. Silveri. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And providing a much-needed service in the community. Not only for college students, but for adolescents, senior citizens.
Yep, everybody. And if they are have any like suicide ideations or they need like some severe help, they need to be call the suicide hotline, and we can't help.
Right.
That they need to go directly to get some help at the hospital, kind of a thing. So I think they're going to be putting the number at the end.
Yeah, well, we'll need to put up the phone number where people can call so that they don't expect a therapist to
they
do
need
that.
some professional help.
Absolutely. Let's see. Is there anything else about the clinic that you think people should know, or your experience?
Well, we have, with us being there, we have our own hours, so we're kind of like, we have people there in earlier, and then midday, and then later. So really, if you work all day,
Yeah.
and then you still want to seek help, we have openings, can be seen in the evening, up until, I think 6 or something like that. So
Excellent.
yeah, so it's and 9 o'clock in the morning. It's just all based on our availability for within the school program.
Wow. Those are good hours because
Yeah.
people
They're busy.
are busy, and you'll be able to fit it in. Are there any challenges that you'd like to share?
I think the challenge, well, there's always challenges. Being a newer therapist, I think that sometimes I get where I'm unsure of, how I can help.
Yeah.
But it seems to just talking to somebody sometimes is all that they need, and
Right.
so
And
go-
listening.
yeah,
Yeah.
just listening and an ear. So that's been a little bit of a challenge, but we're working through it. We're all new.
Ah, that's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for joining us today, Stacie. And thank you, our viewers, for celebrating all things Michigan. Until next time,